Hey, good morning. It's Joel Mark Witt for folkmedia.org. Thanks for taking the first step. You're really taking responsibility for your career, your business, your nonprofit, whatever it is that you're involved with. You're taking responsibility by getting more information and educating yourself on how to use social media for your business. This video is going to talk about the first 5 things I think you need to do in social media to lay a great foundation to get yourself started. And if you're already in the midst of doing social media, let's say you've already set up a Facebook profile or a Twitter profile, these things can still be applicable to you because they kind of go back, some of them go over some fundamentals. But here I'm going to dive right into it. Number one, the first thing I think you need to do in social media is actually sell yourself on social media. A lot of people don't talk about this. They talk about listening and going out there and finding what other people are talking about. But I think you really need to think about the idea that there's a paradigm shift. No longer are you hitchhiking on the bus that's called TV, radio, newspaper. You're no longer having to buy ads on someone's bus or get press coverage on someone's bus that's the TV, radio, or newspaper. If you use the bus as an analogy of those things. You now basically have the bus. You own the bus. You are the media. And I think that's a really big thing, is to have a mindset shift, a paradigm shift of what it is that you're able to do now using social media. Like I said in the last video, I'm sitting in front of my laptop. It was a $1,200 computer with a tiny camera. And I'm able to record this video and share it with you, helping you understand social media in my home studio office. And I'm not dressed up in a suit or tie. I don't have fancy lighting. It's something very simple, but I'm giving you specific, actionable steps and information that's helpful to you. And so this is powerful. I'm communicating with you one-on-one. We're able to get started in helping you use social media. So I think just understanding the power of what it is that social media provides you is a great first step. So that brings us to step number 2. And step number 2 is what most people recommend as step number 1, and that's listening. Listening is very critical for social media. Here's what I want you to do. There's an application called Google Alerts. You can go to google.com and you can type in Google Alerts if you haven't set this up already. I want you to go to Google Alerts, and I want you to go ahead and register for an account there. Set it up if you're not already a Google user. Set up that account. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to enter in keywords, terms, or phrases that anytime they're mentioned online, whether it be a blog post, a Twitter post, somewhere on a website, it will email you a summary of those to your inbox on whatever time frame you choose. So you can get daily emails, you can get weekly emails based on how frequently you'd like information. So if I mention you, for example, your business, your nonprofit on my website, Google does a search every day. Obviously, they go out and they find all the places that term that you put in has been mentioned, and they'll send you an email to tell you, hey, your business, your insurance business, for example, this term insurance and New York City was mentioned, insurance New York City and then your name of your company was mentioned on this blog or this website or this place online. So I would recommend that you go do that first. Set up some listening posts. Google Alerts is a great place to do that. There's some other tools also that you can set up searches on Twitter and other different applications. Go do that right now. Set up some listening posts for your social media. Step number 3, get your hands dirty. Start the process of going and actually doing some things with social media. You may be a complete newbie. You may be very, very new. So here's what I'd recommend you do to get started. If you're brand new, here's what I recommend you do. Go to your newspaper, your local regional newspaper. If you live in a big city, I live in Baltimore City, so I go to the Baltimore Sun's website. Typically, most newspapers now have the article, and then under the article it allows you to leave a comment under the article. Well, basically, that's a social media element that they've brought into the newspapers online. Go to your local newspaper, find an article that interests you, that's something you care about, and you think, wow, I have some commentary that I'd like to talk about with this, or I've got something to say about this. And then I want you to make a comment under that newspaper article. This is going to do a couple things. It's going to obviously get you familiar with how people would comment on a blog platform, for example. A blog is short for weblog. Or it's going to get you comfortable for how people interact with online. They've got a piece of content and they comment around it. You may get a response from either the author or someone else. You may see other comments that are there. You can respond to those comments if you'd like. But it just gets you in the frame of mind how social media is working, how comments can work. So it's actually getting your hands dirty. Particularly if you're brand new, this is what I recommend you do, just to get started. So step number 4 is get yourself some training. When you were a kid, like kindergarten age, your mom didn't just throw a book at you, or a teacher didn't just throw a book at you and say, "Here, go learn how to read," which I feel like a lot of people do to you whenever you're trying to learn social media. They may just say, "I'll go sign up for an account on Facebook or Twitter and just begin using it and you'll figure it all out." Well, that's not how you learned how to read. You didn't just get a book and have to figure it out. I recommend you get some training, some specific step-by-step stuff. Obviously, you've taken a very good first step by watching this video, getting some training right now of some things you can do. It's very important to do that. So I'd recommend that you look at our blog here, some of the articles we have here at the Folk Media site, specific articles that are very well written, obviously in my opinion, to help you understand how to use some of this stuff. But you don't have to just read our articles. Go to other sites, do a Google search, Social Media 101, or How Do I Do Social Media. Read other blogs, other articles, other resources to understand how to use some of these things. Spend some time, set aside 20 minutes a day to read something, figure out something. Begin educating yourself, particularly in the basics and the fundamentals, because it's going to help you so much in your learning curve rather than just going and trying to figure it out all yourself or asking your kids how to do something. So make sure you actually get some training. Finally, step number 5 is you need to implement. You need to go and actually do some of this stuff I've been talking about. What separates, there's a great quote, one of my mentors, Eben Pagan, talks about the idea of successful people in any walk of life, in anything that you're learning. Successful people, you'll notice a big difference. Successful people are implementers. The speed of how fast they implement something they learn. You've already learned a few things here in this video. Go and implement them right away. Begin getting training. Embrace the fact that social media is on the rise. You're going to need to learn it. You're going to have to understand it. It's coming. It's here. It's something you need to do. Go and take action right now. That's my step number 5. I know that sounds very simplistic for social media, but seriously, go do something today. Go do it right now. As soon as you're done watching this video, go do something right away. I think it's going to really empower your social media experience. I'd love to hear your feedback about social media, any questions you have. You can follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/folkmedia. You obviously can sign up for our email newsletter. You probably already have if you're watching this video. We'll send out regular updates to help you with your social media marketing and public relations and nonprofit issues. Also, feel free to email me, joelmarkwitt@folkmedia.org. I'd love to answer any questions you have personally. It may, if I get swamped with a lot of emails, it may take me a while to get to all of them. But I'd love to address your concerns, and if I can't get to them directly, I'll have somebody that I work with get to your concerns and your questions. We may turn them into some blog posts or articles in the future to help you, because this is our goal, to help businesses and nonprofits market on the social web. That's really what Folk Media is all about. So thank you for watching this video, and I'd love to hear from you. Tell me your feedback in the future. So go get started right now. Thanks. Bye.